The information, comments, and recommendations contained herein are not within the scope of investment consultancy. Investment advisory service is provided within the framework of the investment advisory service to be signed between the customer and beekeeping institutions, per education companies, non-deposit accepting banks. My comments on this channel are only my personal comments. These comments belong to you. Your financial situation and risk return may not be appropriate. Therefore, no investment should be made based on the information and comments on my channel.
Good evening to everyone. What is in the markets today? And how is it going this week? The markets will continue on their way. Borsa Istanbul index is currently at 14.30 at 8,709 points. With some buyers, it is at 8,700. It has fallen below the point level. It continues its efforts to keep it above the 8,700 point level again. It continues to navigate the somewhat dangerous waters on Borsa Istanbul. Yes, it can be entered at a low price and at a level where medium and long-term investors can gain. But there are risks below, and areas have formed below the 8,700 point level. We have levels gradually below the 8,800 point level, the 8,700 point level. That is, there are areas quite below. The area below 8,400 is now open. The risk formation continues again. But in order to make gradual purchases or to consider the 6 months again, the stock market will reach new peaks in November and December. I personally expect it, especially within the 6-month period. I often state that the 12,000 point level is the target. So those who are medium and long-term investors will invest their money not only in the stock market, but also diversify it. My positive expectation continues. Yes, I have often expressed it in previous months. Well, my companions and I left the 99,000 point level and took a silver position at the 2365 lira level. And then we made solid purchases at the 9,400 to 9,200 point level. And I stated that I was waiting up to the 12,000 point level based on 6 months. Again, this opinion remains valid. I think for those who made purchases in the 9,400 to 9,200 point range, there is no problem. There is only a problem in terms of patience. I mean, investors state that they lose a lot. They say they lose around %. But this is a matter of preference. When did you enter the stock market? At what levels will you exit? What did you prefer? Do you have any other investment instruments than the stock market? For example, you always do this. We are saying that, distribute the risks, make sure to invest in different instruments, do not invest in a single instrument. I had many warnings, as you know. Our friends who did not pay attention to these warnings continue to wait sadly, but as I said, I am not very pessimistic. I personally do not think there will be a problem. The dollar exchange rate is still stable. At the level of 34L24 Kurush, it continues to maintain its power stance here. Such a stable suppression process continues. The euro-dollar parity is at a level of 0.823. Therefore, the TL exchange rate has decreased to the level of 371 lira. For about 3 weeks, I have been thinking about the dollar or the euro. Is it euro? Especially the investor who insistently wants to invest in foreign currency needs to know that the euro remains low. I would especially like to underline that, for example, a citizen or investor who has TL in his hand is waiting for the decline of gold or silver, but as I often express in all my videos, do not expect this with TL. So don't explain, don't wait. The most reliable instrument for you right now, or the most logical instrument to protect you, is the euro. Because the euro-dollar parity retreated to the level of 1.0837, and from there, it retreated to the level of 1.0820. Compared to the dollar, compared to gold, compared to silver, compared to Bitcoin, silver is the cheapest remaining, and well, I care about the preferences on the euro side. We should not be left short. It is more advantageous to wait in the euro rather than in the TL. I expect attacks on the euro-dollar parity above the 10 level again. Investors who hold dollars are waiting for the declines on the ounce gold and ounce silver side. For example, okay, while waiting for these declines, he must persistently increase the ounce of gold by the ounce. Instead of waiting for silver, you have the dollar in your hand. The euro-dollar parity has fallen so much, I think it is a logical decision to walk from here again. Ounce gold is at the level of $2,733. Today, it rose to the level of $2,740 during the day. There were 2 important resistance levels, Ounce gold is at $2,730 and then $2,780. We continue to stay away from the gold side. Gold is not at a level that can be bought on the ounce side and gram side. Technically, profit sales need to be made. Our prediction for 2025 is range. I definitely do not recommend gold these days. Profit sales must be experienced technically. Today, we saw a new record on the gram gold side. It rose to the level of 3,135 liras. It is now at the level of 3,126 liras. On the gram gold side, I have always said this and I will continue. I cannot say this. Continue to follow the ounce gold. Where is the gram gold? Therefore, on the ounce gold side, technically, since I expect K sales to decrease, it will naturally be reflected on the gram gold side from this level. Would I buy gram gold? Definitely not. I have TL in my hand. I would at least convert it into euros, but I still wouldn't buy gram gold. Well, I have gold in my hand. How do I do this? I need to evaluate it. If you don't need cash, you won't buy a house, you won't buy a car. Keep waiting. What is our expectation that new record attempts will be made in the coming months? The level of 3,000 to 3,500 lira for the end of this year. But first, technically profit sales. Those corrections that will occur need to be seen. After that, we will continue to talk about new records. As I said, I am preparing you for December. As of December, we will not discuss any positions until March. We will continue on our way by increasing the amount of our assets, but from these levels to the gold and silver side, I say absolutely no. Let's look at the ounce price of silver. The ounce price of silver attempted a new record today. The gold-silver ratio is 80. It fell below the level. As of now, the gold-silver ratio is at the level of $9.40. The last time was on the 10th of 9 months. I shared it with you in the Twitter and Instagram messages yesterday, reminding me this is what I shared on the 10th of 9 months. Friends, on the ratio side, it was at the level of $89.40 at that time. I have gold, but I do not have silver. Here is your opportunity. The ratio is at the level of $89.40. You can convert the gold you have into silver. Why did I say this? Me and my companions converted it at the 85 level. The 89 level was seen. I said this is an opportunity. I said take advantage of it. Now how much is the ratio with gold below the 80 level? So those who converted it to silver, the ratio is at the 89 level. The ratio is at the 85 level. First of all, I would like to congratulate our friends who evaluated it. I especially conducted a survey on Twitter on May 30th. Dear friends, who will be the champion of 2024, gold or silver? I also evaluated my personal opinion as silver. That is, my answer to my own question appeared as silver, of course. I would especially like to point out that the reason behind this execution is the ratio. Why am I assertive on the silver side? In the first half of the year, our claim was realized and we were not embarrassed. In the second half of the year, I am assertive, ratio. For this reason, I can say that silver will finish the year in first place again. Well, when we looked at the return of silver on the ratio side, we saw the level of $84 to $81. When we looked at the TL price of silver, its 5-year performance was 2L70 kurush. It was at the level of 2.5 liras. If we consider that today it is at the level of 30 liras, you can increase your 5-year earnings according to the amount you have. You can calculate again. 5 years ago, the price of silver per ounce was at the level of $12. If you consider that the price of silver per ounce is now at the level of $2,829, you can calculate how much return it has from the amount you have. My prediction about the level of 130 lira is stable. We will continue to wait, and gram gold, which breaks a new record every month, is before us. Our expectation for the end of the year is 3,000 to 3,500 liras. Today, the gold-silver ratio is above 88 levels. When the ratio is high, silver is known to be low and gold prices are high. Because the ratio is high, there are decreases in the ounce and gram prices of silver. Currently, the ounce price of silver is at $27.6. There is a 1.22% depreciation. The gram price of silver is 29L75 cents. There is a 1.57 depreciation here. There is a decrease. Therefore, today, silver has lost value compared to gold. We care about the gold-silver ratio. Well, our expectation is known. I explained it to you in January. I had an expectation of 72 levels in 2024 in the first half of the year. The level of 75 was realized, and from there, it rose again to the level of $89. At the level of $85, the gold-silver ratio turned our gold into silver. Because my prediction of 70 continues, investors who hold gold will buy silver with dollars and buy silver with euros need to know that silver is cheap. You can make your decision accordingly. The ounce price of silver is currently at the level of $34.39. The gram price of silver is at the level of 37.90 Kurush. Our expectation for the gram price of silver has been realized. When we look at the gram price of silver for this year, it is currently at the level of 30.37 Kurush per ounce. As an investor who wants to buy silver, I am here with my own money. I can say that I see silver cheap. I can buy from here. Because my expectation is 37 lira at the end of the year. Therefore, 34 lira will be our first main resistance level, followed by 37 lira level. Those who want to buy silver, I can say that these prices are cheap. As I said, the performance of silver will be better compared to gold. Silver will be the first. You have predictions. It rose to the level of $75,883 and completed the week again at the level of $8,481. That is, gold remained expensive again compared to silver. Well, that's why I explained that it was a very logical decision to switch to silver due to the ratio with the gold I had. Well, for our friends who have not been aware of silver until now, he needs to know that silver is cheap in dollars and TL. Secondly, he has all the gold in his hand. He does not have any silver. I will switch to silver through the ratio, again through the parity. I see this as a very reasonable pricing. I also explained the calculation of this to you in your E column. In fact, what is the increase in the ounce side? We continue to wait. We will continue to see new record attempts in the ounce and gram prices of silver until the end of the year, but the decreases in profit sales that I expect under the ounce and under the gram are also valid for silver. Technically, corrections must happen one way or another. How much will it be, for example? Let me tell you my expectations. $31 per ounce price of silver, $2,580 per ounce price of gold, waiting silently on the sidelines before these levels come. Your capital is ready. It has never been easier to spend 000T. Throw it on, let your era begin. I will continue. Technically, these correction movements have to happen one way or another. While I am waiting for the $31 level in the ounce price of silver, I am waiting for the 33 lira level in the gram price of silver. The 33 lira level is on the gram side and the $31 level is on the ounce side. I will continue to wait for this side. Well, Brent petrol. The barrel price of 7 is at the level of $4.62. Dear friends, there is an increase of 1.17%. I think it will probably appear as new increases in pump prices. Bitcoin is currently at $67.325. I can say again that I see it high. It is useful to be careful against profit sales. There is still room below. Wide it fluctuates in the band range. Trump's gas is very effective here. The rises in the Bitcoin side also caused Trump to be a little higher on the list, especially in the presidential race. It causes investors in the cryptocurrency market to give more weight to this side. I think we should not be too assertive. We should be cautious. There may be a sharp retracement again. You better be careful. The dollar index has risen to $10.75. We observe that the dollar continues to increase in value both in foreign markets and in international markets. Dear friends, especially our friends who buy and sell on the IR platform, our friends who have not used the air platform so far are already losing it. I have already expressed this often, but I have told these friends that I will announce good news soon. I would like to express that we are in the process of preparing the infrastructure of this good news. Our good news will be this, dear friends, right now, you can transfer the gold and silver you have accumulated on that platform from ADN points or by cargo. You can have it delivered to your doorstep by courier, or it could be delivered to you at ADN points. But we will create a free physical delivery point for our friends who live in Istanbul and do not pay any expenses. The configuration of this is currently ongoing, and very soon, we will be able to deliver gold and gold via air platform again. Our friends who accumulate silver will be able to buy their gold and silver physically from the address I will announce soon, without paying any costs. These days, The political side continues to progress rapidly in a more confusing way. You can now see the design on this political side as the New World Order. It is time to put aside Turkish politics. Turkey's developments on the foreign policy side are being redesigned. Therefore, if there are those who argue like this with their friends on the political point, those who fight with their friends, etc., they will all be apprentices on the political side. Therefore, turmoil on the political and policy side should be avoided as much as possible. Well, when we look at the table again on the economy side, the tension here is still continuing, but in Turkey, the economy has fallen to the second place as an agenda. Social chaos, corruption, system disorder, gangs, the decay of the social fabric, like a society going crazy, has come to the first place. The economy is now in the second place. The economy is now in the first place. For the last month, the economy has fallen by 2 places. When we look at the latest news flows, we continue to observe that the economy is in the second place. To sum up, dear friends, there are rallies and increases on the gold and silver side. Our medium and long-term expectations are positive. But be careful, be patient, and be a patient investor. To be an investor, please manage your psychology well, because you may be in the wrong corner. The daily buying and selling process is already over in Turkey. The bank spread is so wide that they will not give anyone the opportunity to buy or sell. Well, I have gold and silver in my hand. We are faced with a gold and silver price that is at historical peaks. No problem, I have gold and silver, and they are at historical peaks. How can I turn this into an opportunity? Let me give you the answer to his question. Now, we have friends from the banks who are hurting because of this spread. We have friends who cannot make parity. If it were on the physical side, they would make parity immediately, make moves immediately, make ratios immediately, etc., but it is in the bank. For their assets, these moves, these spreads, make them lose money, and therefore they are looking for an opportunity to exit physically. Look at the tin price of gold, the gram price of gold, the tin price of silver, and the gram price of silver. These peaks, these aggressive rises, those who have gold and silver in the bank. It also gives an opportunity for investors to convert it into physical assets. You can convert it into TL, wait a while, and put it in place of gold and silver on the free market platform. By waiting a little longer, because we expect a decline, you at least have a chance to switch to physical assets, especially these days. Our friends who own their physical assets and want to convert their assets in the bank to physical should definitely evaluate this. Gold and silver prices broke records, but it also brought with it an opportunity. I don't know how you will choose this opportunity and how you will evaluate it, but this is a fact. You cannot make parity transactions. The spread is so high that you make sudden moves. You cannot do this because the spreads are high, and these spreads direct people towards physical gold. You often ask, how can I convert my assets in this bank into physical? Here is ounce gold, here is gram gold, here is gram gold. Or these increases on the gram silver side will not be permanent. Short-term profit sales will definitely not be permanent. You will have a chance to turn this into an opportunity and return to physical existence again. Dear friends, that's all I have to say today. I greet you, your children, and your family. I wish you a good evening again. God bless you.